Um,
And I'm sure I'm not the only, I'm sure I'm not the only one.
no, you're
You
not.
know,
You're not the only one. And so the calorie counts are what they are, but if you're super active and you're only taking in 900 calories, it's going to backfire and it slows your metabolism down for in two ways. Again, you're breaking down the lean muscle, and the more lean muscle, the more lean body mass we have, the faster the metabolism goes. Also, the body goes into starvation modes because you're asking it to do all these things, 13,000 steps, and you're only giving it so many calories. So it just turns the dial down on the calorie burning. So in two ways, it's going to slow you down. So that's why I don't want it to backfire. So you and I can figure out what's best for you on our coaching call.
I would appreciate that. I think that I definitely, because I've been adamant about the diet, and I'm
Yes.
watching my, I've really got the diet down to pat, but it's just like I'm also just not feeling well, and I think that's like you said, it's like I'm burning too many calories to
You're
feel
burning up the
energized.
good stuff. That's right. Your body will eventually use fat as a energy source, but it's so much easier for it to just go steal from the muscle first.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, we can get into a whole protein if anybody else wants to hear this. And um, I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm a nutrition coach. But every study I've read, the high protein, and they put women, the last one I read, women in two groups. Both of them were lifting weights, which I recommend everybody do to the best of their abilities. If you have limitations, joint problems, again, best of your abilities, lifting some weights and eating enough protein is the only way not to lose lean body mass while in a calorie deficit. But that lean body mass is important to keep your metabolism going strong and fast and good.
And
So
everybody, if you haven't seen her bikini pictures, you need to go look at what this woman did. I mean, the way that she trimmed herself down and strengthened herself up. She should have been on the magazine cover. I mean, you were just amazing.
thank you very much. It was a while back. That was a while back. I was in my mid 40s. I'm 60 now, so thank you. But yeah,
Oh,
I was chubby and then I just kept on going. I got so like in the one of the certifications, I think it's behavior change specialist. They're talking about get a healthy obsession for healthy food, getting that. But I went down that rabbit hole and I kept losing weight. I'm like, I'm learning to eat to lose weight. I don't have to starve myself. I get to eat to lose weight, eat to lose weight. This is wonderful because I'm a foodie and all I think about is food, which is how I got fat in the first place. So, and that's kind of a perfect segue today. It's creating new associations. That's a great segue. So thank you for that. Let me share my screen. Okay, so today we are going to learn how to want your best choices. And so, I know there's this program can feel very restrictive and feel difficult at times. And, it's easy for me to say, this is what you should do. And some people can embrace it a little bit more. It depends on how sick and tired you are of being sick and tired. At what level, you're ready to throw in the towel. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Some people think they want it and then they're like, oh yeah, but I like my happy hour, I like my coffee, I like my bread, I like my fill in the blank. So we're going to go over all that today. We got some shout outs and some welcomes. I'll go over how to want your best choices. I'll go over how to become repelled or kind of turned off to some of the stuff that used to just draw us in. And then, of course, Q&A. So it's pretty straightforward today. And if you attended the Monday class, today is not going to look nothing like that. So you're in for a treat of something completely different. So my goal is to help you want the good stuff and not want the bad stuff.
I'm going to go get a notebook. I left it.
Yeah, if you guys want to grab a pen, go do that. Meanwhile, let me do some shout outs here. We got Richard just finished the 12 weeks. He's down 30 pounds. He has about another 30 to go, but he's very confident that he can continue to keep going. He did a great job. He followed the kind of just put his head down and what's next, what's next. Amy, she finished strong. She just loves this program. She said she's almost at her goal. And she said, I feel like myself again. And so when people just kind of step into that new space, that I love that part. Um, I've got Jill that's down 10 pounds, and Joy also did a great job. I've got a lot of people with the same name. So I've got several Jills, a lot of Karens, a lot of Kimberlys, a lot of Kimberlys. But anyway, so let me just welcome Laura, Donna, Leanne, Carmen, Linda, Brooke, Shannon, Nicole, and Jody. If I haven't already welcomed you in, welcome in. So Jean was just talking about my old pictures. I'll tell you, some of you know my background, some of you don't, but I did own a gym many years ago, 2006 to 2008. And the gym was losing money. And so I brought in a program it was designed to sell fat inhibitors and carb blockers and bars and shakes and, all these funky food things, snacky things and whatnot. And I could not afford to get into my own inventory. I was pulling money out of my home equity to make the bills every month. So after 2 years, that became pretty devastating and difficult. However, before, towards the end there, so I brought in this program, and because I couldn't afford to get in my own inventory, I just followed the food. And just 2 weeks ago, I talked about the glycemic index and how this is the system that I used in my weight loss journey. I basically learned to eat to lose weight, not starve myself to lose weight, which, growing up, it was always eat less, move more. And that's a load of malarkey thank you. Got to keep it PG, right? It's a load of something. I mean, it's true. Is it calories do matter, but where the calories come from, the order in which we eat our food, the glycemic and all these things matter, what the food is, where it comes from, and what it's doing in our body. So after, I did my best to hold that gym together, but ultimately I closed it. And after closing it, and I learned all these things about the glycemic index, I really dove down that rabbit hole and learned more about the glycemic index and the glycemic load and how all that was working. And because I kept researching it every day, I took a class on how to write and publish your own book. How to write and publish your own book in 30 days. And so I just really got immersed in looking this information up, which it took me more like 9 months to write and publish that book, but I did do that. But in doing that, I created different associations with food. So like the examples in the visuals you have in front of you, eating, your proteins and your veggies, really just equals, this is going to get me fit. This is going to slim me down. This is going to keep me where I want to be. This is going to help me get toward my goals. And the more I learned about even dairy and mostly sugars and anything on the glycemic index, but sugars, and I associated it with gaining weight and getting fat. And here's just a little bit of transparency as well. For me, I was single and I was associating, and I really made that connection and association with being fat and not being dateable. I was ready to be dating again, and here I was quite overweight. I had 2 kids, I had 2 C-sections. After becoming a personal trainer, I got stronger, but I hadn't really lost weight because I hadn't learned about the food. But again, doing the research and learning about the food, I really shifted my way out of wanting some of those things, because bread and pasta were probably my favorite things on the planet. Desserts, of course, I like a sweet now and then, but the associations I concluded with my learnings in writing these books is what I want to share with you today. So
Are you
there's,
Italian?
you think? I talk with my hands, the brown curly hair, the brown eyes. Yes, but my
And the
dad, so
love
I'm
of
just,
pasta. You're guilty as charged.
yeah, well, my mom was the cook in the family, and she's not Italian. She was German and English and Irish. So I'm really only half Italian, but I really look a lot more like my dad. So I feel like I take more of that Italian traits. Um, but yeah, so, but my mom made spaghetti. It was once a week, and we ate it like it was normal. It was like a plate of spaghetti with some sauce on it. And then you learn to eat it with a spoon, and you never cut your spaghetti. That's like illegal.
Right. Well, no, but culturally, that's actually a cheap way to have a dinner. My kids eat pasta a couple times a week because they just need a can of sauce and they pour it over pasta that they bought for $5 or whatever. In other words, it's an economical way to eat. It's not a healthy way to eat, but
Right.
I think some people are having to manage that, balance their meals.
Well, I grew up in the 60s and 70s. And so, my parents didn't have a lot of money. My dad worked, my mom really didn't. She was kind of a stay-at-home. And so it was tuna noodle casserole, spaghetti, ground beef and something, probably a thing like hamburger helper or whatever. But it wasn't like, now I eat so different. Like, I eat so different.
We ate a lot of chili because it was just pouring in cans of beans with ground meat. We lived on.
Yeah. I
Seriously, we're
remember
having
my mom
chili
making a
again.
lot of ground meat. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go over a few things that, like grandma says, eat your vegetables. Well, grandma was right. And I have clients tell me all the time, like, I don't want to eat my veggies. Or I made the veggies, but I don't feel like eating that. So I just kind of want to give you a different perspective, or creating a different association with said veggies. And, primarily our clientele is women, and primarily most are 50 plus. So I would say the majority of our group probably has aging and anti-aging on the mind. And I know for me, I'm 60, so it's certainly on my mind a lot. What can I do? What can I do to eat the food? Because your food is your medicine, or it can be your poison, which we're going to find out. So I just thought
You
I'd
look
go through some.
fabulous. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I look in the mirror and I see something different, but thank you. You're very kind. All right, so let's start with vitamin A. So what are the benefits of the vitamin A? Well, here we go. It helps with skin conditions. Vitamin A is fabulous for your skin. It's got that's where retinol comes from. But it can help with things, anything from acne to wrinkles. And it just gives you a good overall healthy skin. Now, I knew growing up, mom said, eat your carrots for your vision, but vitamin A, of course, is very, very good for your vision. Vitamin A is also connected with promoting a healthy immune system. And also vitamin A is a powerful antioxidant, which fights the free radicals in the body. So when we have things that are free radicals, which are basically foods that are toxins, they go around in the body and they cause damage. So antioxidants kind of promote or fix some of that damage causing free radicals. And your vitamin A's are going to be, your A's and C's really, are going to be your orange, primarily your orange and yellow color fruits and vegetables. But primarily it's the sweet potatoes and yams, which it does not say in the book. However, yams are allowed, but consider them a carbohydrate, and keep them in a half a cup max in a sitting. So that would be a carb. So if you're only having 2 carbs a day, a half a cup of yams would be box checked for one of those servings. Carrots, as you can see, kale, spinach, mustard greens, collard greens, winter squash, romaine lettuce. You guys are going to see romaine lettuce come up a lot in these next few slides. And in doing all this research, romaine lettuce goes so underrated. I see a lot of people on their journals. I had an iceberg lettuce salad. Iceberg lettuce is very water dense, so it's very good at hydrating your body. But other than that, it's almost no nutrients. So swap out your iceberg lettuce. I know it's crispy and crunchy, and I like it. It's delicious. But swap it out for your romaine. Romaine is crunchy too, or at least mix the two so you get this good crunch, but you're getting the benefits of the romaine. Trust and believe. The romaine shows up on each and every slide. It's coming up, I think. Bell peppers are a fabulous source of vitamin A. Get the colored ones outside of the green. Cantaloupe, which is fruit, so it depends if you're on the fruit. Tomatoes, papaya, leeks, cabbage, grapefruits, and asparagus. So when you're not wanting your vegetables, think about your skin, think about your vision, think about your immune system as we age. And I thought, because I've had killer immune system my whole entire life. And it's changed. It's literally changing. So it's really important that I load up on good vegetables like these ones that are high in vitamin A that are going to serve my immune system.
We're not allowed to eat yams at this point, though, right?
Yams, yes. It
Can't
doesn't
eat
say it
it?
in the book. It does not say it in the book. Sweet potatoes are higher glycemic, so I would say kind of avoid those. But yams are lower glycemic. 2 weeks ago, I went over the glycemic index. And that's a really, like I said, that's what changed my entire body. And it changed my whole association with foods. And it's not just eat less, it's just eat right. That's what the glycemic index taught me. I get to eat to lose weight. So vitamin B, here we go. Vitamin B includes, there's all kinds of different versions of vitamin B, B1, B2, B3, all of those, but their names are thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folate, folic acid, vitamin B6, B12, biotin, which is great for your hair and your nails, pantothenic acid, vitamin B, vitamins work collectively and individually in every cell to perform a lot of different jobs, including helping the body release the energy and get that it gets from the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It can also help regulate appetite. And I know vitamin B12 in particular also helps your body utilize fat as a energy source. And vitamin B12 is what's made in the gut. The B's are made in the gut. And if our gut is healthy, we're going to have more energy. Your vitamin B or your energy, they affect your entire nervous system. So if you're edgy or you're shaky, you might be low on vitamin B. It's needed to convert, well, as I said, carbohydrates into glucose, leading to energy production and decreasing fatigue and lethargy. It helps regulation of the nervous system, reducing depression, stress, and brain shrinkage. These are all important for aging, right? It's essential for skin, hair, nails. That's the biotin in particular. Can help with cell production and renewal of skin. Hello, hello. B12 can help protect against certain cancers, breast cancer, colon, lung, and prostate. Strict vegetarians, heavy drinkers and smokers, pregnant and breastfeeding women, and elderly usually require extra, particularly the B12. Deficiency in vitamin B can cause fatigue and depression. So what do we do? What foods are high in vitamin B? Green leafy vegetables, yogurt, obviously not yogurt right now, asparagus, spinach, turkey, chicken, salmon, seafood, shellfish, liver, eggs, yolks, almonds, legumes, and split peas. But the green leafy vegetables, yes, romaine was on that list, but so were a lot of the other green leafies. So when we eat a salad, understand it's going to work with your body's ability to burn fat, your energy levels, providing your good energy, and fighting off certain cancers. So again, when we don't feel like eating the salad, maybe it's a good idea. Okay, then have the spinach or the asparagus. And again, your good protein sources can provide a lot of those vitamin Bs as well. All right, vitamin C, natural cure for healthy skin. Again, vitamin C, even topical, some of your good expensive creams for anti-aging are usually vitamin C infused. Obviously, we know vitamin C is good for our immune system. It protects against ill effects of stress. In fact, your body, vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin. So your body does not store it. So whatever it takes in, it pees out. But there's one part in your body that does store a little bit of vitamin C, and that's your adrenals. So if you're stressed out a lot, you're going to use up all that vitamin C, and then you can be deficient. So this can help manage your stress if you're replenishing your vitamin C. So rather, if you're taking a supplement, don't take a giant one in the morning. Take one that it's a slow release so that you're kind of releasing some throughout the day, because otherwise it just turns into expensive pee. It helps with blood flow and circulations. It helps lower cholesterol, which of course can be a problem as we age, lowers your risk of heart disease and stroke, can help reduce arthritis symptoms and inflammation. And it is a powerful antioxidant, again, combating all those free radicals in the body. So what's high in vitamin C? Bell peppers, guavas, citrus fruits, obviously oranges, grapefruits, lemons, limes, dark leafy greens like kale, romaine. Here we go again with the romaine. Who knew it was a good source of vitamin C? Cabbage is a good source of vitamin C. Broccoli, kiwi, strawberries, tomatoes, peas, papaya, green chilies. Any chilies or peppers. They are all very fabulous source of vitamin C. All right, moving on. Vitamin D. The main function of vitamin D is to regulate the absorption of calcium. Let's see here. Calcium and phosphorus in our bones and aid in cell-to-cell communication throughout the body. It also helps maintain a healthy body weight, which I'm sure is why it's included in our kit. With this program. It also can help maintain cognitive function, and it is an important part of your immune system. I remember when COVID first came out, I loaded up on vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C. That's just how I handled that. That's what I did. Well, what's a good source of vitamin D? Not a lot, to be honest, you guys. Not a lot. Mushrooms, oysters, fish, eggs, fortified dairy products. And I say that because it'll usually say vitamin D added, vitamin D added. We're not eating dairy products for the first 12 weeks. You may choose not to ever bring them back. That's up to you. But your body can also create it when you have some exposure to the sun. And I'll tell you, owning my vitamin store, people would come through my door and say, my doctor told me I'm deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D is probably the most common thing, a common vitamin that we are deficient in. And technically vitamin D is a hormone, believe it or not. It's called vitamin D, but somehow it's in the category of hormone, but since we're talking vitamins. But people that are tested, because we sit inside all day, we wear sunscreen when we go outside, and we go from the car to the house and we really don't get enough sun. But 15 minutes of sun exposure, first thing in the morning, can also help you regulate your sleep patterns as well. And get your vitamin D. All right, vitamin E benefits. It's another antioxidant. It's a cholesterol reducer, skin protector. It's an anti-inflammatory, again, good for those joints. It's an immune booster and a hormone regulator. So what's high in vitamin E? So olive oil, broccoli, trout, shrimp, avocado, sunflower seeds, nuts, like almonds especially, cooked spinach. A lot of times cooked vegetables have different benefits than raw vegetables. So there's not, oh, cooked is always better, raw is always better. No, have a blend of both because they bring different things to the table. Cooked tomatoes are higher in lycopene, which is an anti-cancer, but the raw tomatoes are higher in vitamin C. So they both bring something wonderful to the table. Berries, bell peppers, apricots, asparagus, and quinoa. Asparagus came up several times in this list. So load up on your asparagus, guys. I know it makes our pee smell funny, but it really does a body good.
Well, and when you combine tomatoes with spinach, it brings the vitamin C out in the spinach.
Well, you need vitamin C to absorb the iron, and spinach is high in iron.
There you go.
So that I know. I mean, I used to sell a really quality iron supplement in my store, and they fortified it with vitamin C so that you could truly absorb it. And that product, for the people who needed it, my anemia people, that it was a game changer, life changer. I mean, go from anemia, have zero energy, to being able to function. So yeah, those two need to go together for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Well, I don't know if I was correcting you, but that's what I know about the spinach.
Right. In other words, I said it was bringing out the vitamin C and the spinach, but I think it's the iron that it's allowing your body to absorb the iron in the spinach.
Yeah. So make a spinach salad, throw some tomatoes on it, and you're golden, right? So when we think about that, think about all the wonderful things you're doing in your body, creating different associations. I just really wanted to drive that home for you. And I know some of this stuff is kind of boring. I know I'm supposed to eat my vegetables, but I really wanted to give you the benefits as those of us who are aging, which is everybody. Even if you're 4, you're aging. You will be 5, and then you'll be 6, and then you'll be 66, right? All right, so now we're going to go into how to not want some of your favorite things. Growing up, we ate Cheetos and Doritos and all those things, and they were just normal foods. I mean, my mom didn't buy a lot of that stuff, but you know, as kids, we go to parties and this was just normal stuff. So let's take a look at some of the junk that we might think we want. And hopefully, my goal for you today is to not want some of those things. All right, so who doesn't like a sweet, neat to eat treat, right? And I found this picture in you know, when I put together these PowerPoints, you know, you can go to their pictures and you never know what pictures you're going to take. You just type in what you think. But this picture came up and I thought, well, that was more than I was going to reveal. But I'll just go over some of the top things that I know. Number 1 is weight gain. You guys, if you watched the glycemic index, we learned about how when we take sugar in, it spikes our blood sugars, which spikes our insulin levels, which tells our body to go into fat storage zone. So number 1, every time I eat something with sugar in it, I think of weight gain, and it turns me off. And for me, because sugar can be substituted, there's other ways I can have something sweet. It's really hard to eat something like a piece of candy or a regular dessert, like at a restaurant or something, because I know I can make it, you know, its counterpart. It's a kind of twin. It's good twin. I can substitute. There's ways to fake it. So for me, it's harder to eat anything with sugar. Obviously, the diabetes. If our blood sugars are spiking and our insulin levels are spiking, and there's a lot of sugar roaming around in the body, and there's not enough insulin to go around to get those sugar cells into the body cells, now the sugar's going rampant in the body, and it's causing heart problems, it's causing kidney problems, it's causing problems for your vision. These are all symptoms of diabetes. It's causing circulation problems, which leads to amputations. So if we really want to keep those blood sugars stable, think about that every time you eat something that has added sugars. When we're looking at our labels, if it has sugars in it, that's one thing, like a tomato sauce or even a dairy product that has lactose naturally occurring, or you're eating a piece of fruit, it's naturally occurring. It's the added sugars that's going to take you to this place right here. It's called diabetes. Off the blood sugar spikes, as I mentioned, causes diabetes and weight gain. The skin, sugar affects the skin. It's called ages. And these are these things that go into the skin and actually cause wrinkles. And the wrinkles that we do have, it makes them deeper and more pronounced. That by itself will get me to stop eating sugar. I don't know about you. That monk fruit is tasting better and better every day. That stevia is really not so bad because I don't want to deepen the wrinkles that I already have. Sugar can suppress the immune system. It's very toxic for the body. Sugar stores in the liver. And if we're not using sugar as a carbohydrate, and if we're not out there running a marathon or cleaning the garage or doing yard work, pulling out big giant bushes and trees and really super active, playing pickleball for 2 hours, it stores in the liver, which is the beginning of fatty liver disease. And there's a real thing called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and it's caused by sugar. But fatty liver disease is the precursor to cirrhosis. So you do not have to be an alcoholic to get cirrhosis. If we're just loading up on sugars or things that spike our blood sugars, and we're storing all this, and it stores as fat, it stores as triglycerides in that liver. So think about that every time you take a bite of a candy bar. So I'm trying to ruin it for you. I hope it's working.
Yeah, you need to pray for your liver. I mean, people don't
Yeah.
understand. I remember when I went back to school in college and I was taking a biology course, and I had always heard your heart and your lungs were the most important, organs. And it's just like your liver is right there. I know it processes 500 different things for you. It's just your liver is so important to you feeling healthy and feeling vibrant and all that kind of stuff. I mean, and when I was in high school, I had never even heard about the liver.
Yeah. And if anybody's feeling tired or fatigued or angry or depressed, it's often a result of an angry liver or a very clogged up liver. And even for me, like when I do the cleanse, and that lemon cleanse is really primarily, it does clean the gut. I'm not gonna lie, it does clean the gut, but its primary purpose is get that liver clean. And your liver is the only organ in your body that helps your body metabolize fat more efficiently. So if the liver's jacked up, you're not going to be metabolizing fat very efficiently. And then we wonder why we're doing everything right, but we can't lose weight. We got to clean up the liver. And that's what this program is really about. So yeah, thank you for that. Next one is cancer. Now, I learned this when I had my vitamin store. Cancer's favorite food is sugar. And I didn't see it for myself, but I was told by one of my customers that if you were put it under a microscope, you'll see you mix cancer cells with sugar, you will actually see it go and gobble it all up. And it makes it grow. It literally feeds cancer. So if you already have cancer, stay the bleepity bleep away from sugar. Do not have sugar. You're feeding it. You're making it grow. So high sugar diets, you are asking for trouble. Another thing that cancer really likes is vitamin C. However, what cancer doesn't know is that the vitamin C will oxidize the cancer and can kill it. And I learned that when I had my vitamin store. And then I also learned the very hard way through my sister who got cancer. And she's kind of a health fanatic too. And she chose to go to Germany for intravenous vitamin C therapy. She took other therapies in Germany, but they were providing that. So you can't just pop a vitamin C and think, okay, I'll never get cancer. It's not quite that simple. However, the IV vitamin C therapy really helped her. And it's been at least 10 years and she's cancer free today and alive and well. She's the one whose house I went to for Hawaii on my vacation. So she's living a fabulous life. If you saw her home in any of the pictures, if you're on my Facebook. Obviously, this one we all know, tooth decay. And as we know, we're trying to keep our teeth very healthy. I know I want to keep my smile intact. And also depression. It really does affect your mood, because sometimes it spikes you up, but then you have that slump and the depression, in addition to affecting your liver, which is also very, very, very connected to your mood and can lead to depression if your liver isn't a happy liver.
So
Also, gut.
before you move on, I think the tooth decay thing.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm saying that the tooth decay thing, you need to really look at the toothpaste that you're using and Google it and see if it's something that is not necessarily adding to the tooth decay, but it's not necessarily helping you in your gums. In other words, some of the most popular toothpastes are actually not good for you, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I don't believe in fluoride is a toxin. So if you
Yes.
if you guys can brush your teeth with fluoride-free toothpaste, you're doing yourself a favor. It is literally a toxin, and for whatever reason, they want to put it in our toothpaste. I will not buy toothpaste that isn't fluoride-free.
Right. Well, and actually, Hitler put fluoride in the water that he gave to the
I did
pigs.
read that too. Yep.
Yeah, and so in other words, there's something about that. So I'm just saying, it's so weird the way that we could be poisoning ourselves.
Oh, yeah, I don't trust, I'm sorry, you don't, I don't trust the government. Somebody said, oh, it's FDA approved, it's FDA approved. Well, so are cigarettes and alcohol. Like,
Yeah.
it's approved. So yeah, but a lot of the stuff that's approved in this country, it is banned. Absolutely, like all this trans fat stuff, it is banned in other countries, most other countries.
And in
But if you
Europe.
follow the money trail, all these big giant food companies, the Doritos of the world, and I don't mean to pick on them, they're probably the lesser of the many evils. It's
Oh
just
my
that I had that picture up there, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. So that's why I was saying, check your toothpaste and Google it. Google it to see what's in it. In other words, it's so crazy. It's because your teeth are related to your heart. In other words, so if you have a problem, yes,
Yes,
and
because if you have an infection or problem in your mouth and you don't take care of it, it becomes systemic. And I knew a guy, he was a dance partner, good, healthy, older gentleman, but very healthy guy. He could dance all night. And he had some dental work done and he didn't take the antibiotics. And they found him dead in his house a couple of days later.
oh my God.
It was connected to his oral health, but it was terrible.
Wow.
Someone told me, and I haven't tried it yet, so don't come back on me on this, but I figure I'll share it since you're talking about it. There's an app called Yucca, and he said it has a logo of a carrot, and you can put in, I think, the barcode of your food items and even things like lotions and probably your toothpaste, and it will tell you if it's toxic or not. So,
Awesome.
so if you want to write that down, someone told me like yesterday, I can't even.
Is it YUKA?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a carrot. So if you looking for that in your app store. Lastly, on this sugar one, the sugar feeds the bad bacteria in the gut, which the bad bacteria leads to bloating, it leads to gas, it leads to malnutrition, it leads to poor energy, it leads to our gut not producing the vitamin Bs. It leads to not being able to absorb the vitamins that you need, so you don't get the energy and the nourishment that you need. We wonder why we don't feel good, because all this sugar is feeding the bad bacteria. It feeds the candida, the thrush, the white tongue, all of that stuff. Stay away from the sugar. It's causing gut problems. And that's why people go, oh, I want my fruit back. Well, it's still a sugar, guys. So we want you to go as long as you can get that gut nice and clean. We're designed to eat fruit. I believe that, but just not those first 6 weeks. Well, 3 weeks is how it's said in the book, but go as long as you can. All right, some other things, because we're asking you not to, I just wanted to go over these, because I know everybody's like, oh, I can't go without cheese. I love my cheese. I love my cheese. I love it too. But when I think about what it's doing in my body, it does cause mucus, and especially for me. And I'll never forget, I couldn't tell you guys at the time, but I had something with cheese in it before one of these Wednesday group calls. And just within the 30 minutes, within the hour, my sinuses were so stuffed up, and I knew it was that darn dairy. I could barely talk because I couldn't breathe through my nose. But I couldn't tell you guys because I was embarrassed. Here I'm telling you not to eat dairy, and I ate dairy. It's like, it's a real thing. So, and dairy can also cause inflammation in the body. It can cause a lot of gas. It can cause a lot of constipation, and it can definitely cause bloating. Heart disease. Dairy is a saturated fat, guys. It is a saturated, is it a complete protein? Yes, but it's far more fat than you will get a protein. So think about that. It's clogging up your arteries and veins every time you're eating cheese, every time you take creamy anything, ice cream, cream sauce, Alfredo sauce, all of the dairy cream sauces. Now, you can substitute for your coconut milk and make a nice cream sauce and call it done, and without the heart disease. Dairy can really cause some skin problems. A lot of people, all they got to do is eliminate dairy and their acne goes away. Can also be the source of your rosacea, and some certain dairy can cause certain cancers. So just keep that in mind when you're craving a dairy. Understand what it's doing.
It might be interesting to allow yourself to have a little bit of cheese and see what the repercussions are.
That's exactly what we recommend after 12 weeks. So,
Okay.
so when you get to week 10 or 11, book your transition call with me. Then I discuss how to reintroduce these gray area foods. We call them gray area. Some of you feel so good by the end, you're like, I am not going to put that stuff back in my body, because they do feel and see that their skin is better, their energy is better, their weight is better, their brain fog is gone, all the things. They just overall feel better. They don't want to put it back. But if you do, I would say wait the 12 weeks if you can, and then slowly, one thing at a time. Don't go making a cheese sandwich with gluten and dairy. Just have the cheese by itself or have the gluten by itself and see what happens.
Okay.
So again, gluten and dairy are the primary culprits for the digestive disruptions. So just be aware of that. More people are sensitive to those two things than the other stuff that we ask you to eliminate. Can cause anemia because it's an iron. It makes it difficult for your body to absorb the iron. Anemia, the main symptom of that is you have zero energy. Zero, like, you can't move. Inflammation, same with dairy. Also cause skin problems, rash, itchy skin, hives, runny nose, again with that sinusy thing, and can also be the source of headaches. People eliminate gluten and their headaches are gone. So just be aware of that. Soybean oil, this crap is in everything.
Yes, yes.
And it's so annoying.
Our major mayo production are totally based in.
I can't hear you. It's muffled.
I'm saying that the mayonnaise
I don't know what happened, but you're quiet.
I'm sorry, still.
There it is. Now you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that the mayonnaise that we were all raised with, whether it was Hellman's or Duke's or whatever, they are all just based on soybean oil.
And it's in everything. And so, and it's FDA approved. Oh, it's harmless. It's this, but if it's in every damn thing we're eating, let's see, let's look at some of the effects. Oxidized lipids from cooking. Soybean oil can cause atherosclerosis and heart disease. It's an omega-6, which causes.
Give me more. Give me more.
Right. Omega-6 is an inflammatory. If you're not eating equal amounts of 6 and omega-3, it's an inflammation. That's why a typical American diet, everybody's inflamed. We all have aches and pains. Why? Because we're too much omega-6, because soybean oil is in everything. It's in all the salad dressings on the shelf, most of them. It's in canned, like the canned sauces, just read your ingredients list, guys. But it causes inflammation, cardiovascular risk. It lowers your good cholesterol. The good cholesterol is what pulls it away from your arteries and veins. We want that good cholesterol. Some people are allergic to soybean and soy products. Again, it can cause rash, hives, and anaphylaxis. That's probably an extreme, but if it's in everything, it's like saving $1 every day. It's only $7 a week, but after a year, it adds up. So if we're doing this soybean oil in everything we eat several times a day, it's going to be very toxic for your body. Hormonal imbalances. It contains those phytoestrogens, which can affect estrogen levels, testosterone levels. It can lead to gynecomastia, which is man boobs, mood changes, and obesity. The soybean oil is connected to obesity. Looks like someone's written something in chat. Oh, you're welcome, Carmen. All right, so next up. What's next? Hello. Oh, so that's kind of it for today. I turned you on and got you excited about eating more of your vegetables and your healthier food choices, your good salmons and chicken and egg and fish and your healthy vegetables, your romaines and your asparaguses and your peppers and your yellows and all the colors of the rainbow. If you get purple cabbage and red bell peppers and yellow squashes and get your colors, your orange carrots and yams and things of that nature. It really, really is good for your body. And this, I just found this. They feed us poison so that we can buy their cures. It's pretty sad.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's
thank you so much.
You are welcome. So just a reminder, guys, if you're a current member and you want to book a coaching call with me, please do so. Don't be shy, but it's coachtami.drinfantino.com. And then, of course, my email address is coach@drinfantino.com. And you can email me any other questions as they come up. Does anybody have anything they would like to share or add to what I said? What?
How many clients do you have going at the same time?
This morning the count was 77.
Wow. Sending light to you. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, no, that's crazy. But I guess you have a system where you get used to it.
Yeah, well, and I used to coach every single person every single week. And now we started doing these group calls, which now I get to give you guys all this information. And it's working. I think it's working out better, and my time is better spent. And I can still do one-on-ones on occasion with you guys as needed. But sometimes we would just schedule them all out for 12 weeks, and we get on the phone and not have a lot to say because most people after about 3 or 4 weeks, they get the program. There's not a lot of questions. There's the coaching calls are more like, oh, I have a struggle coming up. I've got this event. I've got this travel. I've got this mother-in-law. I've got this, family coming to visit. I got whatever thing or a conference. Those are tough ones because they provide all the food. And what do I do? And we're not allowed to bring our own. So that's what the coaching calls are. We can really dive in and do those. And I can give you a little more time, but it's not every single week, all the time for all the people because there's just not enough hours.
Right. Well, thank you so much. It was very informative.
Awesome.
And I will make a private call with you to discuss.
Perfect. All right, you guys. Well, happy Wednesday, and I will see you guys all next time.
Love all the info. Thank you.